Guys, I am giving away a Huey on Canvas GT156 HD graphics drawing tablet. I'm going to be doing that live on the 28th of November on twitch.tv/mikeymegamega, links of course in the description below, and sending this thing worldwide to any one of my Twitch subs. Oh, and by the way, you can subscribe on Twitch for free using Twitch Prime, so come get involved! Artwork, critiques, Photoshop files, and reference sheets are all available on my Patreon. Good morning, guys and girls. I hope you're all doing bloody well. My name's Mikey, and welcome along to another episode of Draw with Mikey, episode 146. For those of you not in the know, hello and welcome. This is the super casual midweek series, rough around the edges, unedited ramble where I just share whatever artwork I've been up to recently in the background, read through the comment section by touching bases with you guys. Maybe you're getting your own stuff and thing done in the background whilst we just kind of vibe together. I'm going to be very low energy and chill today. Everything's fine, I'm just super tired because I'm recording at an ungodly hour and I'm only on my, can you hear this? My second cup of tea. So let's have a sip, everyone. Delicious. Of course, the main point of this show is just to touch bases with you guys. So if you've got any thoughts, feelings, questions, feedback, anything of the sort, nothing is off the table. There are no wrong answers. Welcome to my safe space. Get yourself into the comment section below, and with any luck, I'll be reading it next episode around. So, hi, how are you guys? Let's talk about some channel updates and stuff, seeing as the Mikey Mega Mega channel on YouTube is on basic bitch mode anyway, where we're just pumping out the odd DWM whilst I get closer and closer to being perfectly caught up with Patreon. So exciting, by the way. I'm going to be sorted by the end of the year. That is with the exception of the hardcore crew tier who get some extra stuff a little bit differently. But basically it means that although I know very much we're going to be doing lots of tutorials on the channel again going into 2021, there's lots of exciting times. Basically, this channel is a complete afterthought right now, at least, because I'm focusing on those delicious patrons on Patreon. So that's what SUCROSE is part of. She's the second lady in the Genshin Impact series that I'm doing. We're going back to the clean anime method, where you have to get your line artwork correct as early as possible, and currently I'm working on Noel. So whilst you're listening to this episode, I may or may not be live on Twitch right now actually doing this, which is kind of where I get a lot of my interaction with you guys these days. Oh, and I might as well just say, we're doing the tablet giveaway on this Saturday, so make sure you are with us live on twitch.tv/mikeymegamega to win a Huey GT156 HD drawing tablet. Twitch is free to use, it's just like YouTube, except it's live, so no stress. And also, sorry, I'm burping to myself, I'm going to be probably working on Noelle as well. She's one of the last characters we have to do on this kind of style of things before I kind of explore a different way to draw and mess things up, because you've got to keep learning. Don't worry, guys, I am going to be reading through your comments, but like I say, it's such an unedited, rough around the edges rambling series that you're going to get me mostly yawning at the moment, and maybe just sitting quietly with my hands in my lap from time to time. Any other updates? Yes! So, I'll be reading your comments next episode around. Get yourself into the comments section below. Tell me all about anime, book suggestions, good films, TV, whatever you want to. I really don't mind. Ask away. But at the moment, it's not even strictly a weekly show because I didn't have any completely finished material basically recorded by the middle of last week, and I was just like, okay, forget about it, because DWMs are going to be bi-weekly or fortnightly for those of you who aren't sex pests, as we move forward into next year. So there's going to be like 1 or 2 a month kind of going forward, just because I need to be focusing my time, attention and efforts into some different things, because I like mixing it up and I like exploring different stuff. And if one thing is super clear, we need to be focusing a lot more, spoiler alert for the future year, tutorials, much more tutorial videos pumping back out on here, because we've got all sorts of fun things to learn together. Anything else? Nah, I think that's about it. So come join me on Twitch. That's where I like hanging out. I hate YouTube. I hate this platform, but I do love you guys, so it's always 50-50. And let's have some tea. That's it. Good episode, everyone. Thanks for watching along. Guys, who are your top waifus? I think next we're probably going to do some Resident Evil ladies or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, in the comment section, Hi Kazuma Desu says, Lisa exists. Me on No Nuts November. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Oh my god, it's far too early in the morning to do impressions of the room, but I get it. And yeah, and also, wait a minute. Are you guys doing No Nut November? Well, for starters, it's coming up to the end of November right now. So if you still are doing it, Jesus Christ, well done. But also, it kind of, these things, I have the same attitude towards this as Inktober. I'm just like, look, just do or do not do whatever you want. But if you strictly adhere yourself to an entire month of misery, then you're going to hate whatever it is. Now, No Nut November is kind of probably a really good mental health thing. There's far too much pornography on here, says the man who draws boobs. Not today, though. Itty Bitty Titty Committee, thank you very much for SUCROSE. She is such a cute character design. She's one of my favourites. But, that's probably quite good for clarity of mind. You ascend to the next level. However, things like Inktober and stuff just teach you to be miserable and hate inking by the end of a month. Chromatic Red says, me, nuts busted, the PP is broken, the hand has a grip of the gorilla, oh good lord, mummy is Lisa, oh good lord, body can't move, and I just want to be happy. No Hotel Trivago today, my boys, I've failed. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much, everybody, for the updates on your own personal masturbations. Of course, this is a safe space. Do share away, but good lord. Well done, everybody. Drunk on Chai says, I love your channel, and I've just noticed that we share the same birthday. The 16th of November. Yo, happy birthday, dude. I hope you had a really lovely one. Yes, guys, I am now 36 beautiful, wise years old. Fantastic. It turns out that after about 23, 24, it's all miserable. Life is just miserable and it's downhill. But you get used to being miserable, and that's your version of being fine. So thank you very much. It's lovely being older and wiser. I actually, all jokes aside, had a birthday live stream on Twitch. It was really lovely. You guys did some very touching presents and stuff. It was really cool. I really enjoyed the experience. So thank you very much, guys. John Mivul Novabrow says, just here to take notes on how to draw better digitally. Well, good sir. Lovely to have you. Welcome on in. Of course, as ever, everything that you're seeing on screen right now is like an hour-long time-lapse of the way that I'm drawing Sucrose or any other particular fan art for waifus. On Patreon, there's a 20-minute version, so it's much quicker, where I specifically talk about every step of the drawing process and what I'm actually doing and how I'm thinking about a piece, which segues me quite nicely just to say, and I like doing it now instead of at the very end of a video, because, you know, I usually forget and then I have to suddenly surprise cram them in. Let's do a cheeky shout-out to the delicious October patrons of last month, including Temple Friend, Silent Lumberjack, Aspire, Mumbles45, Tangai A, Roman A, Dan, Charles L, Nathan, Traylon B, Tatiana L, Danny S, and Homongchi L. All you lovely people. We've got the Hardcore Crew stuff coming up. Thank you so much for all the support, and everybody else's names will be scrolling on screen a little bit later towards the end of the episode. That guy with a mustache says, me, I'm not going to lose No Nut November. Sees Mikey's video. It's just a 2D girl. I'm not going to. Here's Mikey's voice. Unzips. Oh my god. You continue to say, this comment is so gross. I'm glad I'm not Mikey. You wrote it. Jesus Christ. Is that the last bit that tips you over the edge? It's not the melting visuals of hot 2D waifus. It's the final touch of some chocolate caramel voice all up in your business. Just to encourage that last lewd step. Good to know. So I'm just going to start reading erotic audio fiction for OnlyFans. I think that will be my new future. Mongol.exe says, I come here to learn. Well, I'm very, very pleased to have you. We will be doing more tutorials, as we've mentioned, into 2021. I'm kind of ramping up a lot of what I do on Twitch because I really enjoy the fact that I get to interact with you guys live and directly. It's just as free as YouTube is. Sure, you can sub, but you don't actually have to do everything. And this platform's a little bit more of a nightmare to make content on anyway, and the main focus is obviously Patreon, and I want to get back into Film Cram, and I want to do a few other things as we lead into 2021. I hope you guys have some excellent resolutions. Also, this is completely unrelated, but something I'm really excited about. I haven't played with Lego since I was a kid. So for Christmas and New Year's on Twitch, I've actually got limited edition 1989 Lego Batmobile and the limited edition Christopher Nolan Batmobile Tumbler Lego sets. So I'm actually just going to live stream putting them together and drinking tea and just chilling out like an adult child, which is what I have always been. So yeah, we're just going to vibe and have a lot of fun. But basically into next year, we need to become a little bit more focused in what we do, because I pushed back due to the C word, the Ovid, all of my kind of New Year's resolutions. Once things started shutting down, I was just like, oh, fantastic. This means I don't have to work very hard. This means I don't have to do all of those things that I promised myself, which is amazing. But it means in 2021 now, we've actually got to start doing all the things on the internet. But yeah, I'm actually really pumped for next year, even if we're going to start it off still rather quiet, still rather lockdowny. But, much love to everyone. Stay safe, of course. Anime Workshop TV says, Mikey, hello there, good sir. You need to remaster a male body tutorial because I'm dying here. I'm dying, Mikey! Do you know what? Yes, I agree. That will be part of what we do. Listen to My Tales says, let's go. It's Genshin Impact. Finally, we are indeed doing the waifus. And Snow Rip says, Mikey, leotards for everyone. Me, having just finished drawing a bottom-heavy girl in a leotard. The truth hath been spoken. So this is a thing, guys. This is like the secret of my art style, because I often redesign characters' outfits to have a little bit less clothing and be a little bit more revealing, just for a bit of fun, just to increase the spiciness, but also because drawing clothing materials is hard, line intensive, and time consuming. So if I just remove the clothes and just draw the actual body shapes and, stick a micro bikini on there, bish bash bosh, job's a good un, and I get to go on with my life. That is my secret revealed. So keep it skin tight, colour it in, and move on. Jwiz says, oh, I caught one of these early for once. Well, fantastic, Jwiz. It really is... I do appreciate an absolute shit show here on YouTube at the moment. Total lucky dip when these episodes go up, just depending on if I've got the art done that week. And again, I'm not worrying about it. Like, if I start working really hard on this channel, next year we might actually hit like 1 million subs and all of that fun stuff. But I'm not chasing these figures, you know me. I'm only making the content when I'm in the mood to and I want to, because that's why that's how I stay enjoying what I'm doing, by not turning it into a grindy nightmare. But thank you very much, everybody who actually sits here waiting for these videos and bothers turning up and saying hello. I do actually really appreciate it, so thank you guys. Blaze says, November has been difficult, but I do need to watch your content. Well, look, much love to everyone. It's not an easy time of year, you lovely guys. Oh, God, that reminds me. So, guys, because the content is so intermittent right now, we're going to push Draw with Mikey Live, episode 150. Let's just shove it into next year. I don't want that to land right next to the Christmas holiday window whilst I've got some other things going on, and it would just be an absolute pain. So we're going to push it into next year. We're going to make it kind of like a bit of a launch for next year as we bust into making more content. And it also means that I don't have to worry too much about fitting in a DWM every single week, just to keep it separate from the Christmas time itself. So let's push back the DWM live. Don't worry, I'm still sitting on all the tablets that I'm going to be doing the giveaways for during that. And in the meantime, I'm always live on Twitch anyway. Why aren't you on Twitch hanging out with me, talking to me? Come on, I need some friends. Fluffy Chan says, I've just started playing Genshin Impact and I love your drawings. Well, Fluffy Chan, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. In these ones, I am keeping the background a little bit simpler again. I initially had this like amazing game plan where I was going to do 3 pieces together, where the overall colour themes blended really nicely. So if you stuck all 3 portrait pieces next to each other, there would be, like, say, Noelle or Zhanling on the left, who'd be loads of golds and reds. And then, like, I don't know, the effects or the flames or the background would blend into the purples of Lisa in the middle. And then they would blend into all the blues and aquamarines of Sucrose on the right. But the thing is to make them work as separate pieces, you need to kind of think about the framing of that character in that panel, in that piece. And to make that look good, it means that they're always framed a little bit awkwardly when you have them joined together as separate characters in a separate kind of combo piece. Now, I'm sure there's a way to make it work. One of the most enjoyable things about art is kind of having a bit of a visual problem and deciding how you're going to overcome it in your design or your artwork or your placement of your characters and features. That's all part of it. But I was just like, okay, well, instead of having a headache, I'll just take the easy route. So we're just doing them as separate panelled pieces. But also, I wanted to retain that key color feeling. So I'm having all of their backgrounds being their equivalent menu screen options. Depending on what character you've got, when you drop into their menu, the kind of cosmic background changes its color palette a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm just vibing across them, so that they're all going to pop with their own colors, but also appear as a coherent trio because of that kind of consistent theme. So yeah, that's the thinking behind it. Spinny RL says, Mikey, mention Space Dandy, my brain. Who do you worship? The booty? I can't remember Space Dandy. I'm assuming that's a quote from it. We'll come back to that. And, wait, somebody else recommended Space Dandy, and I completely confused it with a completely different anime, which does not come to mind. Oh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 4 Diamond is Unbreakable update. I know you guys love this. So I am still very slowly working my way through Diamond is Unbreakable, and I'm still kind of enjoying it, with the exception of it's starting to reach the Stardust Crusaders phase, where basically I've realised these episodes go on forever and ever, and sometimes I kind of just zone out and I don't really pay attention to an episode. Obviously, all the boys are in... It's Morioka, isn't it? They're all in the town of Morioka, vibing along. And I've just reached the kind of bit... I'm entering into the second half of the season now, where the murderer he's got the new face, he's adopted the new life, and the wife is now madly in love with him. The kid is starting to get suspicious. And I think the most recent episode I have is with the alien that came down and could transform into the dice. And I was watching this episode, and obviously they're doing a bit of dice gambling, and the mangaka guy. What I really like is that the mangaka character is animated and drawn like he's the main character in his own story arc. Do you know how you get a lot of anime and manga where you've got the main core characters who are drawn very beautifully and statuesquely, such as the way of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and then the more obscure the side characters become, the more weird their design becomes. Whereas the mangaka guy with the manga stand, who does that reading technique, he is drawn like he's the main character of his own story. And I kind of love that, because it means that because they're both fully kind of realised characters, he and JoJo actually clash all the time, and they don't like each other because they're both intruding on each other's own life narratives. It's really fucking good. So I had the episode where they're playing dice, but the thing is, as this kind of episode is going on, I was really just what the fuck is this? Come on, man. I do understand that the whole point of this is that it's a little bit more low-key and chill than Stardust Crusaders, but Stardust Crusaders made the ultimate sin of being too long. Literally cut that entire season in half. Just take out half the episodes at random, get me to Dio's, and then we're in Egypt and we're done. And even though this is a bit more slice of lifey and nice because of that, and obviously it's got its own style and its own rhythm, we're on I'm on the 25th or 26th episode. I'm nowhere near the end yet, and I'm starting to think, tap my watch, hurry it up just a little bit, move on. But other than that, no, we are getting there. And then I've got, sorry, by the way, the reason why I'm rambling is because I'm getting to the point of the fact that I've got a notepad file full of all of your anime and manga recommendations and suggestions. So once I actually finish JoJo, I'm then free to start something else. So I need to actually double check all the amazing things that you guys have been encouraging me to watch. Okay, sip of tea. Alexander Bex says, amazing seeing him work and hearing him trash YouTube for what it is now. Yeah, I think I've already done that in today's episode, but yeah, you know my opinions. And Leyland Messer says, I'm almost 30. I stopped drawing in high school, but you got me to pick up the pencil again. Yes! Feels like I found myself again. Thanks for what you do. Leyland, you are welcome, man. That's what it's all about. It's never too late. Excuse me, Yoni. Your comment wasn't boring, good sir. I'm so tired. Yeah, no, I really do appreciate that, dude. And that's what it's all about. I love, obviously, using boobs to trick people into start drawing, and then, haha, it turns out I really like it. It's put me in a good place. But the stuff that makes me feel really warm is when I hear from people who are a little bit older. Now, I'm 36, so you're still, bless your heart, you're younger to me. But when I hear about people who, kind of had it a bit when they were a kid and maybe just got on with their lives, and then if I realise that I've encouraged anyone to get back into drawing and just give it another go, that makes me a very happy man. So thank you very much for your comment, good sir. Yannick Linson says, hi Mikey. Hello there, Yannick. I hope you're doing great. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm busy. But the fact that I've nearly caught up on Patreon and I'm getting closer and closer is actually like, I'm vibing, because it was truly the only thing I have left to feel guilty about in life. So the fact that we're wrapping that up makes me pretty happy guy, but it just means, yeah, I'm crazy busy. How are you? You're my favourite YouTuber and artist. Well, Yannick, I am very, very charmed. Just to reconfirm, there's way better artists and artists on YouTube available. But anybody who stops by here, bloody love you. Introverted Weeb says, finally, some more content. Now I can sip a hot mug of concentrated coffee. Oh wow, you go hardcore for coffee, I like it. You've just reminded me to have some tea. Guys, now's a great time to have a bloody good yawn. I strongly recommend it. And like I say, I keep it real with you guys. I ain't one of those YouTube... Hey! Wow! Hey guys, you'll never believe it. I got kidnapped in an Uber ride? Not clickbait? Oh my god, smash like and subscribe. I'm not one of those boyos. I don't have it in me. I'm far too tired. So I'm going to keep it real. And real when you're around here means that I don't bother editing out all the moments that I yawn and sip my tea. You get all of that good ASMR stuff straight into your ear holes. PBJ Cyclops says, hi Mikey. Hello there, PB. How are you? Yeah, can't complain. I think I've just answered that question, so you've got an idea. But yeah, tired, happy, much to do. I was wondering, have you ever considered trying to draw in the iPad? In the iPad! There are a bunch of great apps. I recommend Procreate. Yeah, many people do. So, this is my list of things that I haven't done yet. I have an iPad. And it's still in the box. Now, when I got it, I think it was the latest model, the iPad 12 or 12 inch. And there's like a stand and a pen and stuff. And I do want to do a review, just like the other tablet reviews. But the thing is like, reviewing a different tablet is a mild pain in the ass because it's very time and labor intensive to make those videos. And that's just using a different piece of hardware. Reviewing a new tablet with a different piece of software like Procreate is going to take weeks of me getting used to it before I can have an actual opinion. Because if I just use it over the weekend, my opinion's going to be, ooh, it's different from Photoshop. I don't know how to use it. 2 out of 10. Whereas in order to give it a fair shake, I have to actually get used to the software. So I just keep putting it off. But yeah, I will be giving that a go eventually. That being said, I've got an XP Pen tablet again that I need to review. And oh my god, look, there's lots of... Guys, come to live on Twitch this Saturday, 28th. I'm giving away tablets. I got to get rid of these things. I've got too many tablets in my house. I'm going crazy. The Medieval Man says, hello there, Mikey. Hello there, Medieval. How are you? I've noticed in a couple of your Draw of Mikeys that when you do your colouring and shading, you've done works where you start with the grayscale first and the colours are done on top of that, like in your various Witcher speed paints from a couple weeks ago, and others where you go right into layering the colours down and bringing out the value to further coloured. Which method do you prefer and why? And is it possible for you to do a tutorial with both methods where you go into the pros and cons of each? Thanks from Canada, mate. Hello there. And P.S. After this week's Draw of Mikey, I've had the urge to draw dicks with angel wings driving tanks. I used to be a good boy. Okay, thank God I remember what that's in reference to. Good on you, dude. Medieval Man, yeah. So... Now, this is a little bit of like my own personal journey of drawing is that one of the main things for me is that I was relatively happy just trundling along, kind of drawing in an anime style. And my main issue with myself, my main concern, is that I was still taking too long to complete my artwork. So I was always just like, okay, is there like a trick or a method in Photoshop that I can employ, or a step that I could skip, or a thing that I could tighten up to have the same quality pieces but spending less time doing them? Because I'm a very slow guy. And in my experimentations, I started to take on a more painty render method as well, but it just involved a completely different start than the clean anime style. The SUCROSE GENSHIN you're seeing right now is the clean anime style. Get your sketches down, get your line art correct, colour it in. Do those flat layer colours and start to gradiate on top and render on top of all of them, just like you were saying. What I've kind of eventually come to is that, okay, I get it, I'm just a slow illustrator. I work slow. I don't work industry paced, which is fine because I'm not an industry guy. But that kind of like attempt to find a quicker method has slowly boiled away. I'm less worried about that, and I've realized that because I've played around with two different styles, I have more of a painty render method and a clean anime style, that I actually just have a bit of a passion for both, because it stops me going crazy. If I did only pieces now in a clean anime method like this, where you just have to spend half of your life getting the line art correct, I would hang myself. It is absolutely soul destroying doing all of this line art. It is great when it's done. I love drawing, but the line art stage when I'm trying to go hyper correct, and bear in mind that I'm trying to be a lot more hyper correct in the line art now than I used to be, so I'm actually cranking up the difficulty level on myself. I've only myself to blame. So I'm always kind of experimenting within those two styles. What brush am I using for the line art? What settings do I have on the line art? Am I still trying to kind of give it a bit of energy and a variation in kind of gradient and opacity and so on? But with the painty render method, you get to explore your way through the piece a lot more. You kind of lay down this rough idea really early and you kind of render through, and you get to change different parts all the time. I very much will be doing some tutorials where I talk about both different styles side by side. I'll kind of draw a similar picture and just talk through the different steps and what I do and don't like about each and either. I'm actually planning to start off, basically look at some tutorials from some other artists and different styles and techniques, and do something a little bit different for the next 3 fan arts after I've done the Genshin Impact ladies. There's a third way. No, there is another. There's a third way where, as you've mentioned, you can really start with grayscale and put your colour on top. Now, even that has 100 different variations, because starting with grayscale and putting your colour on top of the design can be as simple as selecting the different areas of your grayscale and putting on gradient colour maps, or it can be a case of going into colour and hue layers on top and still painting your colours in. So I don't even know what I'm going to find out of experimenting with that. But the main point is I have a desperate hunger to upgrade my art skills at the moment. They're okay, but they always need to be better. And I'm really, really hungry to try some different art styles. The fact that I've been having to really plow through and do the Patreon catch-up is kind of what's really hit that home. Like, I like getting this out there. The subject matter is always going to be busty waifus. That's not changing. But the method of actually going about doing that, I want to experiment. I'm hungry for change. And that's what 2021 is going to be all about. So yeah, I will do, getting back to your question, I will be doing some comparative tutorials a little bit further down the line. But we've got loads more basic tutorials and stuff and things to get out there as well. JXNanXV. Is that like a... Wait, is your name like a Roman numeral? I'm not sure. Says, I would love to win one of these. I've always thought it could happen to me. This is my moment. This is my perfect moment with you. Martine McCutcheon. Whatever happened to Martine McCutcheon after EastEnders? By the way, your comment just ended with this is my moment, but you did trigger the song. I feel like she's just played at weddings. Is she still with us, Martine McCutcheon? She was always... I quite liked her. Anyway, Sawams says, oh my god, finally, Mikey made a Lisa fan art. Yes. But it's from Genshin Impact. No, but yes. Yeah, I know exactly what you're meaning. Now that we've done Lisa from Genshin Impact, surely I should be doing Lisa from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's waifus, yes, definitely happening. Gosh, this is what I'm talking about. If I could just work quicker, then I could take all of these fantastic ideas and we could be turning them into waifus immediately and just living out our dreams. But instead, it takes ages. Let me sip some tea. Oh god, guys, I don't even have... So this is the rambling series. I don't even have like a key question for you guys at the moment. All I want to say is that it's coming up to the end of the month. Happy November. It's a difficult time of year. It gets dark all the time now. Daytime stops at about 2 p.m. and then it's just nighttime forever. So, chin up. And also, Christmas is coming. Merry upcoming Christmas. It's going to be whatever it can be. But after that, we've got 2021, and it's going to be much, much better, you lovely, lovely people. That's it. That's my update. Jester says, Mikey, you gorgeous man. Oh, you've charmed me. I'm very excited about the Sucrose. Well, Jester, I hope you enjoy what you're seeing on screen right now. Good, I'm waking up a little bit, I can feel it. Vino Kurova Veronica says, I remember how you killed Shredder-chan. Kurare, if you remember. She's not dead. Oh my god, so I should explain this. So, one of my new favourite hobbies is collecting Magic the Gathering cards, Pokemon cards, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or Yu-Gi-Oh as I call them. And we do live unboxings, or live openings of the booster packs. And then we immediately shred the card, regardless of what the card is or what its worth is. In Shredder-chan, Senpai, Doshite. 1 minute, she's just over here. Oh, she's not plugged in. I was going to turn her on and give you some annoying noise, but you've been saved. Shredder-chan has some googly eyes, but they fell off because I don't have any glue. I've only got blue tack. That's the story. Come hang out on Twitch. It all makes sense. And Donovan, actually, somebody did a fan art of Shredder-chan, turned her into a proper Chan. I was very fucking impressed. Donovan Campbell says, I love the art, Mikey. Thank you, dude. It really helped me get motivated again. Is there a chance that you could do one of Rachel Grey Summers from the X-Men? Now, I very much want to do hot waifu anime versions of a lot of Marvel Comics characters. But let me just look up who Rachel Summer is. Images. Because I don't... Guys, I know about some anime and I know nothing about comics. You guys... Yo, someone's done some beautiful fan arts of her already. Oh, wait! Wait, you said Rachel Summers? But it's Jean. Right? It's Jean Grey. Wait, am I going crazy? Is Jean Grey a separate... Okay, comics people, help me out. Is Jean Grey Summers a separate character to Rachel Grey Summers? Because I'm mostly seeing fan art of Jean. I know who Jean is. I remember Jean. Anyway, yes is the answer. She's a hottie. Kevin Clarkson says, hey there, Mikey. Hello there, Kevin. I recommend playing The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Not only does it have a good story, but it also has spicy waifus that I would love to see you draw. P.S. Keep up the good work. Okay, Kevin, thank you. Because, and I probably said this. Let me just copy and paste that into my thing. I probably said this, Kevin, last episode. I don't know too much about the Zelda games. I feel very positive towards them and also kind of very dismissive in that so my first ever experience of Zelda is I actually had a game on an LCD watch. Believe it or not, it was a watch video game thing. Beep, 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 beep. And each little room was like a Zelda LCD dungeon screen. It was for fucking dog's bollocks. I had it in primary school. It was like, mate, I think I got it for my birthday. And then I completely didn't know anything about Zelda. Hyrule Warriors, all the stuff on the SNES, never played it. Wasn't quite my console, wasn't quite the right time for me. And then Ocarina of Time, one of the greatest games on the N64. Arguably the best one, arguably the second best one, depending on how you rank it against GoldenEye. Absolutely loved it. Zelda Breath of the Wild, absolutely love it. Pretty much every other Zelda game that I've ever seen other people play, I've just kind of thought, ugh. Nah. That being said, I know that they've remade the original for the Switch. That looks like maybe fun. And is the one on the Switch a remake of the one on the SNES or not a remake of the one on the NES? But basically, like, a lot of them look like they're garbage games. They really don't look like a fun, engaging experience. As much as the two that I've actually bothered playing, I'm in love with completely. So, yeah, I've got a really weird attitude towards it. But, yeah, okay. Age of Calamity. It's in my suggestions. And Jaimo Faniel says, straight up, I was about to recommend... Symphogear when somebody beat me to it. Symphogear is the one true religion. Wow. Let me remind myself by going back into... So what I did last week is I went, wow, and I put it on a notepad file. Let me just... Oh, yeah! With all the wives. I remember. Okay. And that guy with a mustache says, this cooking video looks really delicious. Why, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying. Randscast Art says, Lisa is a waifu. I really love how this piece came out, especially that it's Lisa. Why, thank you very much. Now, bear in mind, because I just come out of the painty render... Yeah, I'm talking about this again. Just because I just come out of the kind of more painty rendering method for the Final Fantasy VII ladies, I did feel that Lisa was a little bit tight. Now, I made sure that I'd warmed up a lot and I'd kind of gotten into the rhythm of how I wanted her pose before I got to the line art. The problem is that line art is a little bit suffocating, like, because you have to get it correct, and if you're not careful, you can kill the energy of the piece, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about this before. But Lisa, because she's like more of an RR lady and a bit more statuesque, I could get away with keeping her expression a bit more plain, if that makes sense, and keeping her look a bit more statuey, which was fine for the first piece. But I was very much aware that with Sucrose, I had to warm up and get past that and kind of capture the cuteness of Sucrose a lot more. So the focus of Sucrose is try to retain as much of the cute energy as possible. And with Noelle, the theme is get Noelle done so that I can start painting in a different art style that I'm more motivated for. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Road to Artists Try says, hey Mikey, hello there RTAT. I want to know how you're managing your artwork data. Previously, one of my hard drives died on me and I lost everything on it. Oh shit! Do you use backup hard disks to store important data, or do you use an online cloud? Thanks for reading. Much love. Hardcore crew as always, good sir. Road to Artists Try. I am very much a hard disk drive more than a cloud guy, with a very particular exception. So, my artwork and stuff is on my computer, and all of that is backed up onto a big hard disk called, YouTube and online stuff 2020/2021, and all my older stuff is on another hard disk drive, YouTube stuff 2019 to 2020, blah, blah, blah. I fill these bad boys up with everything I do. And a 4GB hard drive costs about like 80 to 100 quid at a pop, so I don't have to buy too many, but once a year I'm usually filling up a hard drive, so I try to keep it updated. I try to do this at least once a month in case my computer does die. I've personally not experienced it as a problem, but I've talked to at least 2 IRL artists digitally who have had it happen, and that is corrupted Photoshop files. So when I'm doing my actual work whilst I'm painting, about halfway through the piece, I might actually go ahead and copy paste the entire Photoshop file and then continue working on it, so that if it randomly corrupted, I'd still have at least half of one, in the background to keep working on, or at least I'd take one of the snapshot images and just start rendering straight on top of that. It wouldn't be too bad. I then make sure that everything is backed up separately into Patreon packs, and that is where I do use air quotes for cloud. I stick everything up on Google Drive for the patrons, and I tend to just leave it on Google Drive for way longer than I say, just so that it's always also there as a backup. So stuff isn't usually on my computer for too long. I've only got a terabyte hard drive for my artwork. I've got like 2 drives, but one of them's for the art. This is a very boring answer, but it's such a technical question. I've never been asked before. I do try to duplicate my actual Photoshop files whilst I'm working through them, so I don't get caught out by a corruption, and then all of it does indeed get archived or backed up onto a hard disk drive, which I keep these hard disk drives in a drawer in a separate area from where my computer is, just in case one of them catches fire. Hopefully the others will still survive. So yeah, I do back up, but I back up physically. I want my media whenever I need it, right now, at my fingertips. I don't want it in a cloud where I can't reach it if I start to have internet connection problems. I don't want it in a cloud where I can't reach it because I'm traveling in a country that just has really shit download speeds. I physically want it. But that's about it. Also, never put your nudes in the cloud. Come on, you guys know better than this. Keep your nudes on your phone like a good boy. Dummy904 says he really should do a Splatoon drawing. I wonder what that's going to look like. Yeah, do you know that's been suggested before? And also, Waifu Smith says, funnily enough, I have that same tablet that he's giving away. I love it to death. Well, it's a great tablet. I'm pleased. On another note, in terms of a character that I think would look good from Genshin in Mikey's style, I think you should do Ning Guang. She's from the same region as Zhang Ling, and I really like her palette, or maybe Beidou. Both of them are pretty good, who knows, maids are OP. Now, I'm not sure if I know which one Ning Guang is. I'm going to take a stab in the dark, and I'm going to guess you're talking about the one of white or silver hair, and she's got like a red diamond tattoo in her head, like she's from the Suk School of Medicine from June. Yeah, that is a really lovely design. I was actually, excuse me burping up my tea, this is what happens when you talk. I was actually very particular Now, I haven't unlocked Ningguang yet. I was only drawing the waifus from my current roster of ladies, because I didn't actually want to investigate and research ladies that I haven't drawn yet. When I say drawn, I mean pulled in the gacha style, because I quite like how the gacha is a complete mystery to me. I never really know what character I'm going to get, and I haven't really looked into it, so that when I do get someone new, it's just like, oh, awesome, now let's learn about them. So I was only working from my current roster, which is why I was always flicking between Zhanling or Noelle as the warmer orangey red tones character to kind of be working with as well. But one day, I'm still going to play that on and off just to pull the waifus. But like I've said before, Genshin Impact has no core character and no driving plot narrative based around a core character to keep me interested. But Mikey, the main protagonist, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. And the game isn't designed to make me care. The only thing that game is for is doing tasks so that I can pull more waifus and get better, harder hitting combination attacks when I use all the elemental powers. And that's it. So I'll play it on and off, but it's no Breath of the Wild. Do you know what I mean? It's no like really lovable true adventure as far as I'm concerned. But I still think it's great. And the fact that it's free is absolutely mental. All the power to them. Basically, my way of saying, don't be surprised if I start to only talk about and only play and only draw Cyberpunk as we move into the rest of the year. Anime Lord has finally started to play Genshin Impact. Well, I'm pleased. How are you finding it? Who's your best waifu? And Sock Poppet says, it's amazing how you can see the figure without reference. I'm reminded of an old quote by Buonarroti that says, the sculpture is already complete within the marble block before I start my work. It is already there. I just have to chisel away the superfluous material. Sock Poppy, you're too kind. Now, don't get me wrong, sure, basic building blocks, drawing lots of ovals and shapes and limbs for a character, very easy to do. Once you get used to it, you just get used to it with practice. But all those blocks and those shapes and those rough paddles that I put down for hands and those rough ideas of design, well, after a while, you need to refine those building blocks into a more concrete, humanized form. And that is where you definitely want to double check reference if you can in my book. I'll have like an idea for a piece and a character. Sure, I can lay all of that down, but then you're going to want to flip the canvas. You're going to measure things out. You're going to want to kind of come away and look at it again, zoomed in or zoomed out, pull a few bits of the frame, tweak a few areas. And eventually, for me, it's usually the hands. Eventually, there's going to be a bit on the character where you're going into a bit more detail. You've got an interesting hand shape or pose. You're going to want to look at some reference just to double check. So I do a lot of artwork without reference until I have to start cleaning it up and making it look correct. And then I do very much look at as many different pictures as I can. And don't get me wrong, before I start drawing Lisa, before I've started drawing Sucrose, I've gone online and I've just Googled Sucrose fan art, Googled loads of pictures of Sucrose, and just kind of seen like what are the key elements of her form, what other things are people pulling in. I always make sure my version has less clothes, but I tried to kind of really warm myself up into the idea of the design, and also to see if I can see any like lovely bits of color tone or palette or clever things that also works. Like enrich your mind palette, and then you can reach into it with the paintbrush of the concept as you kind of then spread it onto your own piece and get your stuff done. Raf, of course, TCG says, Venti is a girl until she turns around and shows me otherwise. That got me. Yeah. That Venti, oh my god. So, I don't know if I moaned about this last time or if I played it since, but one of the things that put me off a bit of Genshin is there's so much fucking Venti plot about getting the harp, the bloody harp from the church, and I'm playing on English. I think I do need to move back over to Japanese audio, but listening to Venti's dialogue is mind-numbing. I can't stand Venti. Sure, she's hot and I'll bang her, but I can't stand listening to her. I used to have a girlfriend like this, and I can't stand her dialogue, and I just want it to be over so that we can move on with the rest of the game. Ultra Hollywood says, this video is the type I look for when drawing. I feel like I'm in a class when I'm drawing along. I usually have my setup like yours, and I love it. Well, I'm very, very pleased. This is, of course, the Ramble Drawing off-the-cuff series. Play Magnificent Gaming says, I really want to play Genshin, but my phone says no, and my wallet says no as well. It's free! Dude, it's a free-to-play game. At least my kidney says yes. Oh, your wallet says no because you don't have a phone to, back it up. One of my mods on Twitch got a new kind of foldable phone, and he just rogs Genshin all the time at work just because it's so easy to do. Little Dogito says, please make a Gumroad. There are plenty of people who don't want to be patrons with the uncertainty of when they'll receive their rewards, fair, or the uncertainty of what art you'll choose to make 6 months down the line. Yeah, I do need to maybe preemptively say what my art plans are. That's actually a very good bit of feedback. Having a Gumroad allows people to choose what art they want to pay for instead of gambling what they might get in your next series. You already have a huge backlog of artwork that you could profit on by selling it again on Gumroad. And a lot of other Patreon creators also sell their past work for a slight markup there so that they can choose which art they want at a slight premium over Patreon. You've got so much from the past that you could be selling and profiting from again. Little Dogito, thank you very much for all of that idea. That is a great idea. My attitude at the no, I've said this before. My current attitude is when it's gone, it's gone. You were either there or you weren't there. You either got it or you missed out. Yes, that's not very smart. I should make a Gumroad. I will actually be making a Gumroad, dude. Fear not. Once I'm all caught up on Patreon, including the hardcore crew stuff. Then I'm going to focus on like making all of the backlog available. Interestingly, because a lot of people are waiting all the time whilst I'm doing it, every month I send out an email saying, hi guys, this is what usually happens, I'm just a bit behind. And I send out some of the older art packs as a little bit of a placeholder for a lot of new people. And a lot of people email me or message me on my Patreon who are just like, whilst we're waiting, any chance for you could re-upload Spider-Gwen, any chance of you could re-upload, what's the Overwatch girl with the sniper rifle? Do you remember her? Black Widow, there we go, Widowmaker. Sorry, my memory. So I just take those suggestions and I just keep doing that. So for example, in the start of next month, around about the 5th, I'm going to be only a few months behind being completely up to date, but I send out another pack to all the newcomers and everybody who's supported this month, just saying, hi guys, still working on it, closer than ever, but here's some old Spider-Gwen stuff, here's some old bits and bobs. So at the moment, if you've got some ideas of what you want to see from my older stuff, let me know straight away, because whilst I'm doing those catch-up packs, I'll just start throwing that out. You won't even have to pay for any extra, because you'll still be getting the actual real packs on top of that regardless. Because I'm aware that I'm behind, so I'm just kind of throwing a lot of stuff out there, just as like, to keep you guys warmed up. Grizzly Wizzly says, hey Mikey, hello there Grizzly Wizzly. By the way, a little dogito, that is all excellent feedback, by the way, I do thank you. Hey Mikey, says Grizzly, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done. You've taught me so much and kept me hooked into drawing ever since I found your channel how many years back. I now have a good hefty follow account, really improved on my art, all thanks to your tutorials and passion to draw. Cheers, mate. That is a lovely message. Thank you so much. Cheers right back to you. I'm very pleased to read it. And yeah, we're all just kind of coming along and finding our own thing and doing our stuff. Let's have a sip of tea. And Kendall NA says, Gears is an amazing anime of great music, action and characters. Season 5, there's a part where someone uses a shadow clone jutsu with a car. Gears? I've never heard of this. One minute. Let me just go into Are you talking about Symphogear again? It looks like there aren't many great matches for your search. Oh, dude, I've typed in the word Gears into Google. So you are indeed talking about Symphogears. But Gears is such an unregistered term. I got the super rare thing with only one Google search result. Holy shit. It says, did you mean Seth Rogers? No, I did not. Guess what my Google search result has returned? It has returned a link to, let's have a look, a website which reaches in and redisplays YouTube videos. So this website isn't hosting my videos, it's just linking to the YouTube content, and it's linked to the very video of Draw of Mikey that I'm reading right now. It is linked all the way back, Kendall, to your comment. That is fucking weird. I've just done a perfect circle. Anyway, so yeah, Symphogears. Art is great. Says, hi, I'm actually new to your channel. Well, hello and welcome. And I'm already loving your artwork. Well, hello and thank you. I also have a suggestion. Could you draw Daki and Gyutaro together from Kimetsu no Yaiba? I'd love to see how that would turn out. Always keep up the lovely art. Hey, thank you very much. Daki and Gyutaro, is that the name of the orange boy and the pig boy? Let me just Google it. Oh no, these are the spider people, right? Are they? Wait, who are these characters? Wait, do I recognise these characters? Wait, Are they still making more of the anime? Holy I'm not sure if I'm behind on something. I'm going to have to come back to that. Who are they? Are they from the part of the story arc when we were in the house with the other demon with the drums? I need to... This is not ringing any bells whatsoever. I'm going to come back to that. Thank you very much. I've got that tab open. And Alan Conger says, I just wanted to see a historian try to crack this one. Oh, what? The Lisa and away we get to that. Guys, welcome on in. This is true YouTube history right here. Spencer Speedster Vimima says, Hey Mikey, hello there Tripless. I started drawing and I've done the curvy anime girls with basic shapes. And I found drawing with a pen better with a pencil. Although I will still roughly sketch out the drawing in pencil and go over it. It feels so much smoother. And I'm now on the path to anime girl nirvana. Thank you. I am very glad to hear that you are pleased with the quality of your line flow. Usually, I hear people the other way around who are having a horrible time with their line arts looking smooth. But dude, if you're finding that vibe, fantastic. Ninjas and Stuff says, Hey Mikey, hello there Ninjas. Long time viewer, first time commenting. Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Do you know what guys? I don't know if you can tell, I feel so much more awake now than I did at the start of the video. Just catching up with you guys and drinking tea, the tea helps. It invigorates me wildly. Always reminds me that I do actually bloody love doing this sort of stuff. Long time viewer, first time commenting. I'm just really into pencil art and I was wondering if you had any advice on doing aura or energy effects in pencil. Ninjas and Stuff, you are hitting upon my to-do list of future tutorials. Not yet, but I will be going into that in detail. Very specifically, a different tutorial for a different element each time. And Sneeze says, I literally started screaming when you read my long essay of a comment. That made my day. Well, thank you very much for commenting and joining along and recommending stuff. Artsy Dion says, you're so inspiring. Oh my god, I think we've entered the part of chat where it's just really nice compliments again. You're so inspiring, especially that part when you say that we have to make art for ourselves and not for others. That would just make it frustrating if we do not receive their likes on artworks. That is correct. Anyways, I'm trying to make artworks whilst listening to your Draw of Mikey videos. It's really entertaining and I love hearing your voice. Well, I love reading your comments. And Lost Ryzen says, I've finally jumped onto the Patreon bandwagon. Long-time viewer, always love your work and your Draw of Mikey's. Have a great birthday month. Thank you so much. This is the lovely zone. I'm going to start my episodes from about 3/4 of the way down in future. Thank you very much, chat. And Tochi Chuck Walker says, oh my god, I remember reading your name last time. Hey Mikey, this is my first comment. No. I've read a Chuck Walker before because I remember thinking it was really dangerous to say your name out loud. And I just wanted to ask, how would you deal with feeling like you're not improving in art? You may not have this problem because you draw amazingly. Do you remember that I am a human being who suffers all the same trials and tribulations and emotions of artwork as you guys, very much so. So, what do you do when you feel like you're not improving in your art? Well, dude, this is a big deal for me. This is stuff that I was talking about towards the beginning of the episode. Change up your style, change up what you're learning. Your art journey is never like a smooth line that just goes up. It's always like these kind of hills and plateaus. You kind of spike in a technique, then you start to kind of level out again, and then you experiment or try something new and you spike in your technique, and then you just start to level out again. It's kind of like steps more than anything, and some of those steps go down as well as up. Don't hate yourself, it happens. So it sounds like you're just hitting a bit of a plateau part, where you've kind of gotten used to what you're currently doing and you're not kind of engaging with new stuff. So, new subject material, drawing from life, going back to basics, changing up your brushes, changing up the method that you go behind drawing stuff or the method you take behind painting. If you feel like you're plateauing, it's because you need to start experimenting and doing some different things. Mix it up. You give yourself these new challenges, even by accident. Oh, I'm still drawing the same kind of anime ladies now. I'm going to start a different painty render method. I'm going to start in grayscale and colour a little bit later on instead of doing flats. How does that affect my artwork? All of a sudden you discover new challenges with it and new solutions to doing those challenges. And that's when you start to spike again. And doing those things just massively bumps your confidence as well. And it really is good to just keep into it. Like other than, because obviously there's a few people who are godlike and they're exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, all those really established, really good artists whose work you like, who seem to do really confident, bold work, are doing that because they've been bold enough to actually experiment and mess around with things and kind of learn for themselves what does and doesn't happen. Obviously, there's ways to learn slowly and there's ways to learn quickly, and there's 100 people on YouTube with 100 really interesting videos about techniques or things that help them learn a lot more quickly because they're engaging with their work a lot more differently. So I do actually recommend watching a lot of videos about that kind of thing, like not just what to learn but how to learn better, or things that have made me improve my art a bit more quickly. I do tend to avoid videos that look too clickbaity, like, "Ooh, stop making these 5 mistakes in your artwork. Ooh, these 10 things are going to destroy your art. Stop it right now." You know what I mean? Like, all that kind of stuff. When I see that, I'm just like, I'm not going to click on that video. But there's a number of videos which are just like, looking back, things that I've learned through artwork, or things that I wish I'd studied a little bit differently, or what made me improve the most when I did this technique versus that technique, all that kind of stuff. So have a quick look around, see what you can find. And Jose Young says, very good job, clean, perfect. Jose, thank you very much for the comment, and I think we're going to, very good job, clean, perfectly end today's episode right there, end it on a high, because I want to finish my cup of tea, make another one, and also because I need to crack on with my day. Thank you so much for following along. Get yourself in the comment section so I can read it next time if we've not talked about something that you would like to talk about. As ever, this channel's on a bit of a kind of like, the videos come when they come. Draw of Mikey Live, we're going to slip into the beginning of next year and make it more of a kind of a launch into doing a lot more things. So I'm very excited. You guys have woken me up. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hope you enjoy Sucrose. Noelle's going to be next, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Mikey, mega, oh baby, give me one more chance to show you that I love you. Won't you please let me back in your heart?